Hey everyone, Natissa here on the Florida Gulf Coast, Zone 10, and today is Sweet Potato Harvest Day. Alright, we made it here to our main sweet potato growing beds, but first, here are some quick tips to get you started growing your own sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are native to the Americas, and they love our heat, our sandy and not so fertile soils, which help tuber development. And they grow easy from roots, slips, and tubers. The edible tubers grow under the ground, and above the ground, the vines will ramble across for about 6 to 10 feet long, and they can form roots along the nodes. And as it goes along the ground, it will make new plants, form new tubers. And what's really cool is that the leaves are edible, raw or cooked. Sweet potatoes generally need about 4 months of a good warm and hot growing season, and around those 4 months you might notice your leaves to turn yellow. It's starting to die back, and it's about that time that you can start digging up for tubers. Also, the best time to harvest your sweet potatoes if you're up north is definitely before freeze, because that can potentially rot your tubers underground if you have a deep freeze. Now, I know it's tempting to leave your sweet potatoes in the ground because yes, your tubers are growing and they're getting bigger and bigger, but if you leave your tubers in the ground, they are going to get bigger, but they're also going to get woodier and not edible. Trust me, I know. Another issue will be pests. They will come in and start populating because they have a food source, like nematodes, a microscopic organism that will get in and make your sweet potato look all warty. Also, the potato weevil that will burrow into your tubers and create holes. Also, sweet potatoes don't like it below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I've noticed here, cool temperatures roll in, our sweet potato leaves will die back and turn black. But generally speaking, because we don't freeze, the tubers are still alive underground, and the plants will come back and continue growing through our summer season, continuing their production of tubers and leaves for you to eat. I usually try to plant our sweet potatoes around March, maybe April, and we usually harvest them around September and October, right before we get all planted out for fall, and right before Thanksgiving, because we like our sweet potato casserole dish. Now, when it comes to storing, you can store your sweet potatoes, they say up to about 6 months. But first, you need to cure them. And how you do that is, once you pull your sweet potatoes out of the ground, don't wash them, just brush the dirt off. Put them in a place where it is about 85 degrees Fahrenheit and about 90% humidity. That's Florida, that's my sunroom. And you do this for about 1 week. Curing helps heal your sweet potatoes if they've been cut. It also helps dry the skin so it's not so fragile, and they can store better that way. So once you cure your sweet potatoes, you can then take them and put them in a dark, cool place, about 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, where they say they can be stored to about 6 months, but I have not had luck with that just yet. There are also many sweet potato varieties available to you. Some come in different colors, have different growth habits, harvest times, resistance to pests and other things. So find the best sweet potato for you. We have grown sweet potatoes here for the last couple of years. 1 year I didn't cure them. I just pulled them out of the ground and washed them, cooked them, and ate them. And actually, funny enough, it was the best sweet potato I've ever had. And they say curing helps with sweetness, but it was already very sweet. We grew it another year, and we actually had about a football-sized sweet potato, and I thought that was amazing. But that was the year I found out that don't let them get too big. They get woody and inedible. And last year's harvest, I had them growing in a container, and when we harvested them, I was really expecting a larger harvest. And looking back, I think it was because of the shade, because sweet potatoes like the sun. They might like a little shade in the heat of our afternoon, but they may have needed more. So now this year, I am hoping so much that we have a large enough harvest. I have two main growing spaces here, a purple potato and a red skinned sweet potato. And we did harvest a couple sweet potatoes a few days ago during our summer cleanup video. I got a total of 2.38 pounds. Yeah, we'll take a look at that too, but let's get harvesting. But first, let us cut back all these vines. All right, let's get you up close so you can see what we're looking at. We left these little, I guess you could say these little, just the stems, part of the vine in, so you could see where the original plants were planted. And there were 6 of them. I planted at around March, and I planted them about a foot to 18 inches apart. And you can see here what I was talking about earlier, where it can root along the vine. This was the original plant that I planted in the ground. The vine came out and it did its thing. And the roots, I don't know if you can see that, they are attached to the ground. So that is a whole other sweet potato plant, and we'll make more tubers. All right, let's get harvesting. First one. Oh, there's lizards coming in and eating all of the bugs that are coming up. I'll bring you in closer on these last 2 plants and hope we get some big ones. Just follow the roots under here and it'll sometimes lead you to one. And so it, yes, so it worked. All right, we're gonna check this plant here. Doesn't look like anything, but I'm gonna follow the roots down. And I found one. Oh. I don't know if you can see this, but the color is purple, purple roots. And this is a purple sweet potato, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. And there's a whole network of the purple roots all around. That means a lot of volunteer plants. All right, let's try this one. I'm following the root. Okay. Oh, and you gotta harvest the baby. You could get runners out of that for next year. Do a quick check. And this is the purple sweet potato harvest right here. Now this one. Ta-da! Here is the red sweet potatoes from this bed. Not bad, not bad. What we're thinking is this bed may not get as much sun as the bed that is just before you. What's interesting as well is I had these plants going, oh, a mosquito. I've had these red sweet potato plants growing in here since last year of about June. This is before I thought I was going to record my plantings. So I'm kind of surprised. I was expecting a bigger harvest, but not bad. What I also found during harvesting can be another sweet potato plant. The roots along the nodes went down into the ground and made a whole new plant, which would make whole new tubers. So you could take this, plant it in the ground, and 4 months later, have a bowl of sweet potatoes. So here you go, the sweet potato harvest of the day. I hope that this video encourages you that you too can grow sweet potatoes wherever you are. If you're interested in other type of harvest videos and how to grow, check out my surprise jicama harvest where you can see another tropical root crop to grow. All right, it's time to get inside and get all of these weighed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. With a total of all our sweet potatoes harvested this year, 6.25 pounds. Well, looky here. We have new seedlings coming up. And as they get bigger, the vines get bigger, you can cut them off and turn them into cuttings. More plants.